Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits and all of that good stuff. Yeah, I'm hearing some information about a possibility of this presser being canceled. I have not heard anything as of yet. Don't know if that's true. Okay. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. Don't know if that's entirely true. I'm just going to say that really quick. But nonetheless, I think it's really important that we are all here showing some love, showing some support. Okay. And concerns over this case. As you guys already know, we've been diligently passionate about this case, about Sebastian. Of course, we got some other cases we're going to be talking about later on today, because we have got to bring some other stories and other cases to light as well. But nonetheless, we are here because there's going to be a press conference in less than 10 minutes from now. Allegedly, we will see. Fingers crossed. If we hear some information, which is interesting, we're going to talk about that. We got a little bit of time before we get into everything and before we get into this whole conversation. But I got some things to say. I got some feelings about this, and we'll see what transpires from it. I may be doing a short live kind of a after show conversation with you guys on TikTok right after this show, just depending on how long this press conference is. I'm also trying something new, okay? You guys know that it's hard for me to live stream live events or live press conferences while I'm doing live. So I am trying something new. Hopefully it works. I'm just letting you guys know. If it doesn't work out, we will be watching the replay, okay? But I feel in my guts that we're going to be just fine. I'm trying something new, like I said, trying something very, very new. So we're going to see what's happening, okay? Mel, yes. So I am streaming it. Yes, I am streaming it. Yes. And it happens in less than 9 minutes from now, okay? So before we get into everything, please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Send it past 300 likes as you guys start to file in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to every single last one of y'all. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Appreciate you guys for being here. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, and the like. Please go hit that reaction button down below if you're watching on those other platforms. Make sure on those other platforms you are following. Okay? Hit that follow button. Hit that like button, whatever it may be, on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Follow me on all those platforms. And if you're watching on YouTube, of course, crush that subscribe button. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right, guys? That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Check out the join button down below. Consider becoming a member of the family. That'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, hit that join button if you want to join, or check out patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Go over there if you want to support. That'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, check out pascalmerch.com. Okay, got to get all that stuff out the way. You know how it is. All right. These purple lights don't pay themselves, y'all. You know what I mean? We just do what we need to do to get by. But we do have something interesting coming up here in a little bit, which, of course, I want to share with you guys, just some updates. I find it to be a bit interesting, to say the least. And the reason why I say that I find this interesting is because they're saying, sorry, guys, I'm just trying to pull a few things up here. They're saying that they're doing a press conference. They're doing a press conference, but they're not going to really be giving us any new information. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't know how you feel about that. I'm just they're going to give us they're doing a press conference, but they're not giving any new updates. Weird, right? And I know that there's been a lot of other pieces of information that's been coming out, basically saying stuff like, well, there's other information out here that's been circulating like crazy. In fact, let me pull that up so we have that, because we got like 6 minutes till it starts to get on and popping. And this is shout out to T-Rev. I give credit where credit is due no matter what. Okay. As much as I can, as long as I remember their names and whatnot, I try to do as best as I can to remember some things. Okay. But there is a update that T-Rev put up on his not his Instagram, on his Twitter. Okay. And I thought that this was fairly interesting information that I felt like, you know what, we need to take a look at this. Okay. And of course, this is just a quick, a quick scanning into this conversation. Okay. Into this post. All right. Now, one, they said that there's a possible sighting of Sebastian. Okay. Now, I will say this. The possible sighting of Sebastian, it could be any kid. Let's be real. There's plenty of kids that fit his stature. Okay. There's plenty of kids that are around that age that fit his stature that could easily be mistaken as him. Okay. So I'm hoping that they're taking a look at that. Okay. That they're doing everything they need to do as far as that. Now, there's been other conversations being said that this is, you know what? Let me just pull this up. We got 4 minutes. We got a little bit of time. And this is something I found to be a bit weird. I'm going to be honest. Okay. Now, I don't know how much of this is true. I don't know how much of this is fake news. I don't know. But I will say that this is very odd. We got 4 minutes and 30 seconds till they're supposed to allegedly be on live. Hopefully the storms will stay at bay so we can find out what the hell's going on out here in these streets. Okay. But one other thing I wanted to point out is this is from SF Investigates. Okay. He put this up. Now, this is something that has been circulating around for the past 24 hours. He just posted this, literally just posted this today. And honestly, I sat back on this because I was like, this could be like some really mucked up April Fool's joke, somebody out here trying to be a jerk. You see what I'm saying? But then I see him posting it. I'm like, all right, let's talk about this. Okay. Because if this is true, then I'm going to hold my thoughts here for a second. Let's just get into this, okay? So the United Cajun Navy continues to seek attention by any means in the Sebastian Rogers missing person case. They've recently claimed to know the location of Sebastian's body. Okay, first off, hold up. You say what? Now, here's the thing. If that is true, I haven't even finished the statement, but if that's true, why did you leave? But I'm going to continue, okay? I'm going to continue, okay? They've recently claimed to know the location of the body, but say they are too afraid to recover his body. In contrast, for 5 weeks, others have shown up day after day to search for Sebastian. They've worked without seeking media attention, without making excuses, soliciting donations, issuing threats, without lying about canine detections, or engaging in dramatic behavior. These individuals showing up daily to search for Sebastian embody the spirit of true first responders. That is what search and rescue looks like. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, I know some of you guys are like, what? Yeah, I'm wondering the same doggone thing. Like, I just wanted to give you guys a little sprinkle into that conversation because at the same time, okay, so they were receiving threats, but they're claiming to know the location, allegedly claiming to know the location of Sebastian. And yet they go, but we got to go because we're getting threats. We got to go now. See you when I see you. That doesn't make any sense, guys. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. First off, good job on SF. I will say that. Shout out to SF because Dagnabbit, yeah. Why would they suddenly go, we got to go, but we know where he is, but we got to go. And we're afraid to recover his body. We're afraid to go and investigate on that particular location because we're getting threats. Okay. I'm just saying. Now, if this is true, this is trash. Trash. And, honestly, this is some diabolical, nasty work. The fact that you could sit there and possibly know, if this is true, the location of this young man, this young boy, that we've all been out here talking about, saying his name, hashtagging his name, bringing awareness to all this stuff. And you're literally going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, we can't get to it because we're afraid. Like I said, if this is true, this is trash. What is really sad is that if this is true, this is an attempt. This is their attempt at trying to save some sort of face. But at the end of the day, it's just making them look worse. Again, if this is true, which it could be absolute BS. This is the dumbest statements you could ever put out because this makes that organization look really, really bad. Again, I have to say it again. If and only if this is true. It breaks my heart, guys. We got a press conference. Let's get into it. All right.
You guys ready?
Oh, my.
All right.
This might work.
Good morning. I'm Eric Craddock from Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and we're going to come to you today with an update on the Sebastian Rogers case. Sebastian has
Oh, my God, it's working.
The investigation remains ongoing with steadfast support from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, and many other local and federal resources. We are exploring every lead that comes in and every tip that comes in. As I said before, the investigation remains ongoing. The entire community is deeply saddened by what has occurred. We're all extremely concerned for Sebastian's welfare. I want to encourage the community to stay vigilant, to report anything that they think may be of some significance to the investigation, no matter how minute it may appear to be to you. Please call 1-800-TBI-FIND with any tips, or the Sumner County Emergency Communications Center at 615-451-3838. We understand the anxiety and the concern that this case has caused in the community. We too share the anxiety and concern for Sebastian. I want to reiterate that we are doing everything we can to find Sebastian and bring him home. Despite the passage of time, the commitment to finding Sebastian remains unwavering. I said this when we scaled the search back. Our commitment to finding Sebastian remains. We will continue to investigate every possible lead that comes in. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office wants to express our gratitude to the community and the many individuals who have helped in the search, the many individuals who have called in tips, the many individuals who have printed flyers and kept Sebastian's face in the news. Nothing would make me happier than to wake up tomorrow morning with a tip that cracks this case wide open and we find Sebastian and bring him home. At this time, I'll turn it over to Susan Allen from the TBI.
Thank you, WG. Hi, good morning. Thanks for being here. We know how invested everybody is in the search for Sebastian, in finding out what happened to him and bringing him home. And we want to let everybody know he has not been forgotten. Nobody's forgotten about him. Nobody has given up looking for him. At the beginning of this investigation, there was a large land search for him. It was very visible. There were also waterways, lakes, ponds that were searched. There were aerial searches with helicopters and drones and fixed wing planes. They were done at night. They were done on weekends. They were done during the day. That was very visible, and it was something everybody was able to see. But we want to let you know that even though there is not that high visibility in investigating this case, that we are not done. It's gone back to what could be considered good old-fashioned police work. interviewing individuals, re-interviewing individuals, checking out leads, rechecking leads. We have been working with other law enforcement agencies who have had in other jurisdictions who have perhaps had some complex cases of their own that they have worked on to get tips from them. We have had, this day of technology with everyone having cell phones and doorbells and ring bells and surveillance cameras. That, as you can imagine, has been a bit of a chore to be able to collect all those and then review them. It's important so we know what's out there. We have been reviewing that, reviewing it again. We have had other agencies involved. The FBI has been helpful in that. Secret Service has also been helpful in that. So we are just trying to do whatever we can to advance the investigation. It has not gone to a place where anybody has forgotten about him or is not pursuing this. The parents have been cooperative throughout at the beginning of the investigation. They have pretty much done whatever law enforcement has asked of them. At this point, we don't have any evidence. There is not any kind of an indication that there is a criminal element involved. But we are keeping options open. We don't know what has happened. We don't know where Sebastian is right now. So we are pursuing any and all avenues. We do want to caution there are some social media elements out there who purport to have information that is direct from the investigation. I just want to reiterate that is not the case. Some of the information that is being provided on some of the social media channels is inaccurate, incomplete. We don't want this to damage the investigation. So we would just caution anyone who is following the case to just use some caution as to what you see and what you believe. It's caused a bit of a distraction because a lot of what has been out there in some of the social media channels has been rumors and speculations and theories, and some of that has been advanced and people have caught a hold of it as if it's what's really happening. That has resulted in us getting information that is either, like I said, distracting. It's taking away time and effort from what the agencies need to be doing as far as looking for Sebastian. We have had so far, as of this morning, 314 tips that have come in through the tip line. It's been mentioned, but I'll say it again. It's 1-800-TBI-FIND. We are also taking tips through email, which is tips to TBI, TBI, at tbi.tn.gov. What's next? We want people, as Chief Deputy said, to continue to remain vigilant, get Sebastian's picture out there, continue to share his picture, his information. Now that it's getting to be nicer, well, not today with the weather, but now that the weather has turned warmer, people may be more inclined to be in their yards. If you go out and see anything that looks different, let us know. Something where perhaps a teenager could have hidden. If you have a large amount of property in the area or something that has any kind of holes or unstable footing or ledges where a teen could have gone to hide or to play, and you don't feel comfortable checking it out, let us know. We'll get somebody from law enforcement to go out there with you or to check it out themselves. We just want to make sure that every stone is unturned, that there's no stone left unturned, that we want people to make sure that we are looking everywhere we can. We do want to continue to get the tips, but please don't provide information that you might have seen through social media channels. If you have information about Sebastian, about conversations you might have had with him, things he likes to do, places he likes to go, any people he may have mentioned that are in his life, that could be helpful in finding out maybe what he was interested in. Finally, we want to thank the community. We want to thank the media. You guys have been really good about keeping his name in the public's eye. That's really important. And thank you for your diligence in providing that information out there. And as Chief Deputy said, we also want to thank the community. From the very first day, everybody has really been all in as far as whatever they can do to help in the search, to help pass information on, providing water for the teams that were out conducting the ground searches. So thank you again to everybody. I'm going to pass it back to Eric Credit.
The weather
Nothing.
is- Again, we've got time for some questions. So, yes, ma'am.
I was a few minutes behind, so sorry if I missed it, but has there been any indication at this point of foul play or anything of that nature?
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
But at this point, you don't rule it out.
We're not ruling anything out.
So 5 weeks, and you guys covered so much ground, searching, going back, researching, checked out every case of a possible sighting, nothing confirmed, not a trace of Sebastian anywhere, nothing found. No footprints, no video, nothing.
Nothing that is taking us to locate Sebastian.
And are there any working theories?
We come up with theories almost daily and try and investigate and make sure that we're doing everything we can to find Sebastian.
Hmm.
Are there any-
No, sir.
2 questions, if I may. Have you ruled out Sebastian's mom's and stepdad's involvement in this case? And as a follow-up, have you cleared their alibi?
I think the TBI said it best. They've been nothing but cooperative with law enforcement since day one of this investigation. There is no evidence to support foul play on the part of Sebastian's parents.
Is that moving to Memphis interfering at all with your investigation? Is it changing possibly the avenues of communication?
No, sir.
You mentioned in your last about recent evidence, we heard some rumors that there was a test of validity, that there were glasses found within the past few days. Can you confirm that?
There were some glasses found in the past few days.
Or have you been able to identify that they were Sebastian?
We are still investigating.
Jesus.
Maybe, have you found how was that coordination happening? Have you found their work helpful? Are you guys working in unison or a separate team?
The Cajun Navy is operating independently. They have not reached out to us.
Have you found their investigation or their work helpful, or has it been one of the distractions that have been mentioned?
One of the things that I really appreciate they've done is print flyers and keep Sebastian's face out there. It's my hope that one day somebody sees something and calls in and this case breaks wide open and we find Sebastian.
They've claimed they've received threats. To your knowledge, have they filed any police reports or reports to sheriff's departments documenting any of these alleged threats?
No, sir.
Are we able to learn anything about what those threats are?
They would have to call the police and report them.
Where does the search go from here? It's been 5 weeks. There's been no signs. Do you believe he's still alive? And what are you guys going to continue working on?
My hope and prayer is that Sebastian is still alive. Yes. We're going to continue to work on this investigation, follow up every tip and lead that comes in. Some of this may revert back to us going over some things that we've already done for the 6th, 7th, or 8th time. A fresh set of eyes never hurt anything. We're going to continue to work to find Sebastian.
Has the story been changing at all as you've been talking with people, interviewing them for a second time possibly?
There is no evidence to support foul play.
Are there any active current cases that you guys are pursuing?
We have tips called in daily.
Any that you expand up law enforcement resources?
Regardless of their legitimacy, we're going to follow up on them.
Will there be any other agencies pulled in to help in the search efforts for this case?
I'm certain there will be.
You met with the biological father and mother this past week. Is that at their request, your request? Is that just re-interviewing them again?
That was at the request of law enforcement. It's not uncommon to talk to the family in investigations like this. I've got time for one more question.
Just
Mm.
overall, how has this investigation impacted the morale at your department, especially with all the scrutiny coming online?
Let me put it to you like this. If my kid was missing, this is the team I'd want on it. The men and women of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, the FBI partners, the other local agencies, the Secret Service, everyone who's had a hand in this case is doing everything they can to find Sebastian. Morale's high. We are here and we are dedicated. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for keeping Sebastian in the public. Please continue to publicize this photo. Thank you all.
Wow. And that's all she wrote. And that's all she wrote. Interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, that just happened. Um, Very interesting. Very interesting, don't you think? All right. First off, shout out. I'm gonna say this really quick because it's so easy for, and I get it. I get it. There's a lot of people out here throwing out all kinds of crazy misinformation here all day long around this case. If they're not getting it from the source, like if you're not hearing it from an actual human being saying certain things, right? That's either attached to the case or is an eyewitness or potential eyewitness that has potential evidence that could potentially help with the case, so on and so forth. It is very reckless for us content creators to be out here talking reckless on the microphone. I do believe that. I absolutely believe that. Okay. But at the same time, I'm going to protect us social media content creators out here. Okay. One of the reasons why they're having this conversation, that they're having this press conference right now, is because we are constantly having the conversation about Sebastian Rogers. If we were not using our social media platforms to raise his voice or be a voice for him right now, there would not be a press conference right now. We've been putting in work, y'all, all y'all, every single last one of y'all who's been sitting in here watching these shows, being a part of the conversation and whatnot. Let's be real. Without us putting in all this work, and I'm talking about all the content creators, without us putting the names out here, they wouldn't be doing this press conference. It's the same thing that happened with Madeline Soto's press conference as well. They did a press conference. They still have nothing. They didn't press any charges on anybody. Nobody. But because everybody and their mama has still been muttering her name in putting the words in their mouths of her name, that's why they had a press conference. So now we're having another one right now. Why? Because you know what? The family, okay, or the family that is out there actually doing the hard work day in and day out, putting their feet on the ground, looking for this young kid. I'm sure they were sitting there going, hey, 5-0 ain't doing nothing. The law enforcement that be ain't doing nothing. Let's not forget this too. Very important to put into consideration here. You have a father, Seth Rogers, out there, boots on the ground, doing everything he can right now to find Sebastian. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he gets the rug ripped out from under him. Actually, his whole searching world flipped upside down when the Cajun Navy decide to pack up their stuff and kick rocks because of a few threats. Okay? They're concerned for their safety, so they leave. They leave this man high and dry. Mind you, I have heard nothing, myself at least, okay? I've heard nothing about law enforcement helping out in the search, doing whatever they need to do as far as investigations and whatnot. I haven't heard anything about it personally. All I've heard is about search organizations like Cajun Navy coming through and putting their hands in, getting their hands dirty and trying to find Sebastian. The only reason why I feel like they're stepping forward right now is because of the amount of conversation that has happened since the Cajun Navy stepped away. Because it's like, wait a second, we hear a lot about Cajun Navy, but where are the other agencies that should be involved in this? Where the hell are they? We haven't heard anything about them. I didn't hear anything from Seth in that interview about law enforcement getting involved. He's sitting there going, I got to get this. I got to do this all over again. I got to start all over again. I got to do whatever I need to do to find Sebastian. I need other organizations, so on and so forth. Nothing was being said about 5-0. Zero, zilch, nada, zippity doodah. So, sup with that. Then suddenly they're out here and then they're trying to come at us. Nah, I'm not cool with that, y'all. We're the reasons why Sebastian's still out here. We're the reasons why the conversations are being made on mainstream media, main news channels. They're pulling up and trying to have conversations with Seth and the sort. without us putting the conversation out here, Sebastian's name would probably disappear. And this press conference would not even be existing right now. So I'm going to say this. Shout out to all y'all. I don't care. Because like I said, it's a double-edged sword. Okay, there's going to be people out here that are just tabloidy. They're going to make ish up for clicks. But then there's the other side of the world. They're actually trying to get justice or clarity, transparency, the truth out here for Sebastian. And the one thing that it bothers me more than anything in the world is when they start trying to go after the YouTubers and the TikTokers and the live streamers. Come on. You know for a fact you need us just like we need you. All right? Especially when it comes to these cases. A lot of times, y'all don't even know. Some of these guys don't even know what's going on until they actually watch something on YouTube or on TikTok as well. So I hate it when they do that. They go after us right off the bat. And it's like, no, there's some good guys over here that are not trying to be tabloidy. But yes, we do have that. But at the same time, isn't media the same doggone thing too? There's content made by media that's there to stretch the truth. And there's other content out there that's just there for the truth. But guess what? Name is still out there. People still talking about them or about that particular person, hashtagging their name, so on and so forth. So in a way, I don't know. You know, as much as it sucks, it's unfortunately a necessity. Again, that was nothing. That was a nothing burger. Now, I know for a lot of you guys, you're going to feel some type of way about this. Let's keep it a buck. You're going to feel some type of way about this. Why? Because I know some of you guys are hoping that 5-0 is going to sit there and go, yes, they're bad people, and we're watching the proud feats. Well, that did not happen. That did not transpire. That didn't go the way I wanted it to go. I'm sure it didn't go the way you wanted it to go either. But at the same time, I don't think that they're going to show all their cards. I really don't. But then at the same time, if they really don't believe that the Proudfoots are suspects, then that's what they believe right now. And that's fine. But it is a bit weird. Again, going back to the origin story of this whole case, you have a young 15-year-old man. I call him a man. Young man. Up and just vanishing into thin air, leaving without a trace. The last person, at least, to see him alive is his mama, allegedly. It's kind of hard not to look at those two, or at least the mom, and give it a soft side eye, even just for a hot minute, because it just seems a bit weird. No one, not even kid, no one just ups and vanishes like that into thin air without a trace. Again, you could tell this officer right here that's on the screen right now, he's getting very aggravated. He's like, we're doing everything we can. Morale is high. We're doing everything we can. Okay, cool. Glad you're doing that. Glad you gave us a press conference. Yay. Hercules. Congratulations. But at the same time, what else can you give us? What else is going on? You found some glasses. They could be anybody's glasses. They could be his glasses. They could be Sebastian's glasses. But at the same time, they could be nobody's glasses. They could be anybody's glasses, man. Okay, so cool. Good on you. What else are you doing? So you're telling me that they've been doing, the Proud Feets have been doing everything they can in the search. No, they're not. They're very cooperative. That's what he said. You know how many times the press asked, are you sure? Can you believe that is? Are you sure? Are you sure they're not suspects? You're not looking at the proud feats, not even for 1 minute, not one damn, not one second. They've been doing everything they can to cooperate. They've been cooperating in the search. That don't mean a damn thing. It don't. It really don't mean a damn thing, guys. Oh, sure, you need my phone? Ain't nothing on there, so go ahead. Oh, you need to see his room? Okay. Go on and go through that thing. Sorry, no. Here's the other thing, too. You guys, biological father out there in these streets, he's the only one in the family, the immediate family, okay? Out of the three. That's what I'm trying to say. No knocking because there's other relatives, godparents, etc., all a part of this search. But just because proud feets are out here working with 5-0, cooperating with them at least, does not mean that they don't have something hidden up their sleeve. It just doesn't. So we can sit here all day long saying, oh, they're cooperating and they've done nothing wrong. They are cooperating and they've done nothing wrong. Like, just, why aren't they in the streets, man? Why aren't they putting up flyers? Why aren't they having sleepless nights? Why are they jumping in RVs and going on vacations and then coming back when it's convenient to them? Why? Now, I honestly do not know what kind of information. Like, I really don't know what they're giving to the police. I really don't. Okay? I don't. Okay? And none of us do. And they can say all kinds of crazy stuff just to save face. But they also could have had time to come up with something elaborate, something pristine, something solid to cover their own tracks. So like I said, as much as they sit there and they try to go after the content creators and whatnot, that ain't working for me. I still got a lot of questions, y'all. And police aren't going to give us much, and they may not know much. And at the same time, they're looking at these two, and I guess whatever they're doing, they're cooperating, but then, I'm wondering if they're asking the right questions. Okay? I'm actually wondering if they're asking the right questions here. Let me get some of these super chats here really quick. I don't know about this, guys. I don't know about this, y'all. I'm definitely feeling some type of way about that press conference. It's just trash. And it's just like, there's so much stuff going on the internet that's not being, it's like, no, there's people that are having interviews with the dad. Now, if there's anything else, like, it's not like I've listened and watched every single video under the sun. Okay. But the misinformation that may be out here could be constructed because of the interviews that the Proudfoots have been having on certain platforms. And then they're saying different things on other platforms. So it's not us. It's not us. It's not. Unless it's people who are just making up tabloidy crap just for the sake of making crap for a few clicks. We know a few people like that out there in the world that make up ish for the sake of making up ish. And, it's trash. But hey, if that's their lane, that's what they're going to do, right? It's up to us to decide what we believe is true or to rely on the people that are giving us the news as reliable, solid sources. Unfortunately, the internet is vast, and there's a lot of people out here that will make up BS for the sake of making BS. So we have to be careful with that. But at the same time, a lot of the stuff that's being put out here is because of the bed the Proudfoots have made. Again, if police are just passionately saying that, gesticulating and emphasizing everything with some sort of gesture, if they're doing all that, say that they're innocent kind of thing, they have not given us any reason to look at them as suspects. Okay, that could be for real, or it could really just be for show. Misty Fisher, thank you so much for the 10. A psychic asked Sebastian where he is. And he told her Road 412. There's a U.S. route 412 in Tennessee. He told her they went a lot of miles. Do you think it's a good tip or no? Let me say this. Okay. Because I know that there's some people out here that really watch clairvoyant psychic entities or psychic channels and stuff like that. Here it is. I'm not knocking that. I mean, like I said, there are some that I've seen that have been shockingly fairly on point. And then there's other ones where it's Julian. Remember that BS? Julian. Like, for me, I'm just not a fan instantly for that. Like, as far as solving a crime or solving a case, like something like this, it is just not a platform that I lean towards. No disrespect. Everyone has their lane. Everyone tells their stories and cover these cases in their own way. And there's a lot of people that do believe that they have a connection to the spiritual world or can predict things that are about to come. And like I said, I don't know. It wouldn't hurt to take a look. I would say that. We're out of options. We've run out of everything, it seems like. You got Seth and whoever, all the wonderful volunteers, because, by the way, shout out to all you volunteers this past weekend. After our conversation, it seemed like there was a very nice uptick in volunteers showing up, which is amazing. And thank you for showing up and being there. But they're out there searching random places. If 412 is a possibility, it doesn't hurt to look. They're looking everywhere else. I'm just saying, they're looking everywhere else. But for me, the speaker box stuff and all that, no disrespect to those platforms, but it's just not something that I listen to and go for. Okay? It's just not, Moving on. Vintage, thank you so much for the vibe. Do you think the glasses are why they called Seth and Katie in to talk to them? To identify the glasses? I feel like, I really feel like Seth would have said something about the glasses when he was on the show. Because I did specifically ask him, was there anything else that was talked about? Nope. We saw footage and that's it. So I feel like he would have said something like, yeah, there were glasses that were found, blah, blah, blah. But then again, those glasses could be something. I'm not sitting here saying that they didn't find anything. If they found glasses, that really could be something. Or it could be nothing at all. We're going to have to wait and see. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to wait and see. Dallas, welcome to the family. Thank you so much for becoming a member. And Dallas, just like Dallas, I'm sorry, please consider becoming a member. That'll be greatly, greatly appreciated. Hold on. Let me slow this chat down a little bit more. Hold on. Let me just slow it down again. Okay. But thank you so much. S-Dubs, thank you so much for the 5. April 2nd is World Autism Awareness Day. Is celebrated to empower and help autistic people lead a normal life. Find hashtag find Sebastian. Hit the like, please. Yes. Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for letting us know all about that. Yes. World Autism Awareness Day is today. Yes. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for that information. Hold on real quick. Oh, and S-Dubs, thank you so much for gifting 5 new memberships. Welcome to the family, all 5 of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so very much. Seek the Missing, Thank you so much for the 2. Yes, media is why he is still in the spotlight. Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all. Let's keep it a buck. The only reason why this is existing is because, or this press conference is even existing, is because the people spoke and they actually listened this time. Now, I want to mention something too. When they came up and said, when TBI said, the lady from TBI came up and said, hey, all this information that's not true is being said on social media, then I'm like, so then what is it then? What's the stuff that isn't true? Can you correct some of these things so that we can proceed on? What's the stuff that you're saying that is being said on social media right now that is not the truth? Speak now or forever hold your peace. But that didn't happen. Interesting, right? Things that are being said on social media, there's a lot of stuff that's not true. What is it? Just say what it is so we can move the F on and proceed with correct information. But if you got people out here talking wireless on damn microphones in podcasts and then going on Nancy Grace and saying something completely different, you know that's coming from the source itself. It's not speculation, okay? It's not so. Where is the lies? There's theories out there. Just like you guys have theories, I'm sure. Back in your offices, drinking your coffee and looking at your diagram on your cork wall, right? So I don't know what's wrong with that. Just saying. And nah, I'm gonna hold that. I'll hold that. Let's continue. Dallas, thank you so much for the 5. Seth should contact Texas EquiSearch. They search more than just Texas, 48 states, and 11 countries so far. You know what? Yes, he does know about EquiSearch for sure. I don't know. I'm still wondering if they're going to be involved in it, if they're not going to be involved in the search and all that. I also heard things that the Cajun Navy is slowly involved or something in the search still. I don't know, guys. I still don't know. Like I said, there's just so many damn questions and so much information, like she said, so much information that's been flying left and right that I would love to get more clarity on. Is Cajun Navy really back helping? I heard that they're kind of in the background helping. I don't know. You know what I mean? What's true? What is not? Right? That's the thing I'd like to have answered as well. Misty, thank you so much for the 5. Shout out to social media platforms. I'll say it since dude. Whoops. Hold on, guys. Pause this because we don't need any of this ish no more. Okay. Shout out to the social media platforms. I say it since dude did not give y'all a shout out. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Thank you. Like I said, sometimes we're getting information out before they even get the information. Okay. You know? I'm just saying. Amanda, thank you so much for the 5. How do we know Sebastian ever made it home from dinner? Until I see proof, I don't think he did. Now, you know what? Okay, so I've been saying this for a minute now. I've been saying this for a minute, not since day one. You know, like sometimes when you get the for me at least, sometimes you get the case, you start looking into the case. You break the news onto your platform. Not saying that I broke the story, not at all, but you know, I was one of many that brought up the conversation. And as you go further into the case, more questions start popping up in your head as you sit there and you're thinking about it, you know, on when you're off camera, you know, or when you're not looking at the case. Sometimes things flash into your brain going, wow, maybe, wait a second. So you're telling me that they had dinner and then after dinner, they went straight back home. And then the next morning he disappeared. So really the last moment he actually was physically seen was in Texas Roadhouse. And then he got into a car and then he drove home. So that time, from the time that they pulled out of that parking lot of Texas Roadhouse to the time that to the time that Katie Proudfoot walked into his bedroom early in that morning, we have nothing to show for that stuff. There's no proof of life during those several hours. So in my mind, I'm going exactly that. Where's the proof? Do they have footage of, I don't know, stoplights, intersections? They even said, which makes no sense. They should have been asking about this. And maybe they did. Maybe they're just reiterating it or repeating it again for anybody who's new to the case or just got into learning about Sebastian's case. But they said, hey, anybody who has ring cam footage, anything of that sort that may have seen him passing by, please contact us. I'm like, wow, that should have already been done. Right? Right? So I get it. As time goes on, the case gets bigger and bigger. You start to ask more and more questions. Your questions become more and more sophisticated. They get more and more nuanced, more and more focused, instead of it just being like, where is Sebastian? You see what I'm saying? So now, yes, Amanda, I agree 110%. Where's the footage? Show me footage of him in that car, still alive, driving back to the house, at least driving back towards as close to the neighborhood as they can. Then we can sit there and go, okay, from that time to that time, he was still, you can see he was scratching his nose or scratching his face, or he was on his phone doing whatever at an intersection. Show us proof of those things. Because then that can shrink down the timeline just a tiny bit. You're telling me that you got somebody who works for Brink Security. There were no cameras allegedly on in the house. But then I'm also hearing that there were cameras in the house. But like I said, that's information that I have not gotten confirmed. But there are cameras in the house. But if there's cameras in the house, then they have a security system. And then that would mean that she lied on Nancy Grace, if it's true. Just saying. Remember the interview, the very, 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 very first interview, and I was talking about how Chris Proudfoot's butthole puckered up, and he was like, and he was stumbling over himself when they were talking about footage, extra footage, and all that coming from the house and all that. Does anybody remember that? And he kind of just got like, you could tell he's like, for a second, just for a second. And then he stumbled, but then he found the wording again, and he found his footing, because he kind of stumbled with his words, and then he found what he needed to say, and he said what he said, and he moved on, and then they moved on to other conversations, right? But he puckered up. Real talk. Watch it again when you get some time. Go near the very, very, it's like the second to last question, I think. Second or third last question that was asked. And you could tell. He's just, just saying. So if there really is cameras inside the house, if they really are there, Katie did not tell the truth there. They both didn't tell the truth there. Talking about no security cameras, no security whatsoever. Yet they do have code locks on their doors. And then also on top of that, let's not forget, you work for Brinks. You work for Brinks Security. Make it make sense. Somebody. And making it make sense. Because that's the part that doesn't make sense to me, guys. I'm sorry. You work for Brinks Security, but you ain't got no security except code locks on your doggone door. Now, Karen just said here a second ago, they are cheap. Let me tell you. Either you're saying the cameras themselves are cheap, or you're saying financially they might be a little bit fine and frugal. Now, let's see this really quick. If they are frugal with their money, wouldn't she get some sort of employee discount? Wouldn't she? I don't know. Like I said, I would love, oh, yeah, Valerie, I would love to interview them. I would. I would love to. But if I'm telling you right now, if Chris ever was to raise his voice at me, he would not like me. He would not like me. And that's on God, because you're not going to disrespect my platform and the people that watch my show. I will say that. I will say that. But at the same time, maybe it'll all be yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I don't know. Okay. So it just doesn't make any sense, those pieces. Okay. It just doesn't. We got some other super chats. I'm just saying, it just doesn't math. It just doesn't math for me. Now I get it. That not like, yes, just because you work for, I'm going to say this, okay? On the side of, because we gotta try to, hop on the other side of the fence. I know I've been leaning kind of hard on one side of the fence. We got to get over to the other side of the fence really quick to keep it fair, to keep it even and balanced. So let's talk about this. Even though I'm side-eyeing them like a mug, still, just because you work for a company does not automatically mean you are going to have those things in your house. Sure. That's very, very true. It's not like she's going to go, oh, everything I have is Brinks. Nah, doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that at all. But it is a bit weird, okay, that if you know everything about security cameras, about keeping homes safe, that you wouldn't have something like that yourself. It just seems a bit weird. Seems a bit weird. Okay. But like I said, I've heard, and this is just, I don't have confirmation of it yet. I don't have confirmation. I've just heard through people about cameras actually in the house. And here's the other thing too. If cameras are in the house, see, this is the important part, guys, that goes onto the other side of the fence too, which is the other side of the fence of innocence for those two. If there is cameras inside the house and the cops actually have access to that footage, and the cops are coming on here in these interviews and in this press conferences and saying that they are not suspects right now, if they must see something. They must see something in that footage that shows proof positive that they didn't do a damn thing, that there was no movement inside the house. Let's not forget that too. Just erring on the side of trying to be on the other side of it. Okay? We got to remember that. If that's the case, then wow. If that's true. But I feel like they would have been saying that by now if there was camera footage inside the house or even outside a little bit of the house. Again, where did this kid go? Where did he go? That he wasn't caught on camera at all. That's just insane to me, guys. Just insane. Oh, that's the wrong one. Moo Bruce, thank you so much for the 5. I'm a mother to an autistic son. I would be walking those woods looking for my boy. Also, no man would ever put his hands on my son. Katie is guilty. Yeah, I mean, she's guilty beyond, like, outside of this, right? And when Sebastian is found, and on the hopes that he is still alive, I'm hoping, right? My fingers are crossed. I'm hoping that they take her straight into a custody battle. She should not have Sebastian. If she's going to be married to Chris, and if the information that we heard from the ex-wife, if that is actually 110% true and accurate, no. Sebastian needs to be far, far away from Chris and Katie, because she condones it. That's a dangerous environment for that kid. Real talk. Primrose, thank you so much. They should check glasses for Sebastian's prints. Yes, they should. I agree with that 110%. Izes, hopefully I'm saying that right. Thank you so much for the 20. Hey, Pascal, I'm puzzled. My mom is a single mother. How does Sebastian's mother not check on her son after a bump that night? Good question. Whenever my mom would hear anything, she'd check on us to be sure we were asleep, especially school nights. I told gang, 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 gang. Yeah. Remix. Yes, I agree. I 110% agree. Trust and believe. You know for a fact if we made some sort of noise like that, we'd be running back into our bed, trying to shut our eyes, try to make it look like we were asleep. We've all been there. We all been kids. Okay. We've all been kids. You know for a fact that's our ass if we got caught. You know what I'm saying? It's like, stop playing those video games. Time to go to bed. All right, fine, Ma. And then all of a sudden you're goofing off or something like that, and boom, you're making a noise. You know for a fact, if that woke up the parents, they're coming in and they're checking on your way. And if you awake and they catch you playing those video games, it's your ass. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's weird. I heard a bump and I just told him, hey, bub, go to bed. And that's it? You didn't check on him? Or are you saying that to divert, to make it sound more mysterious? I'm just curious. Very interesting indeed. Kimberly in Japan, what's up? Thank you so much for being a member for the past 16 months. I appreciate it. Wow. Pascal, your passion is pure gold and full of love. I can't appreciate you more. Thank you so much. Prayers for Seth. Find Sebastian. Absolutely need more answers. Yes, we do. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. It really means a lot. Nikisha, what's up? Thank you so much for the 10. If law enforcement did think they were suspects, maybe they're saying that to get the heat off of them until there's more evidence, or until more evidence is gathered, and they don't want the proud feet to get spooked and run, playing it real safe. You know, then this particular officer is one of the best actors in the world. If that's the case, I really do think that they don't think, they believe that they're not suspects, or at least at this time. Because the way that they were saying is like, we are out here, we are looking, morals are high. No, they are not suspects, guys. Wow. Okay. So to me, I feel like either he was doing his best, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a famous actor or something, but you know, trying to do his best performance to throw them off, maybe, or they really don't think that these guys are suspects. And that could very well be the situation, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, I mean, it's a bad thing, but if they don't have anything, it's just so weird. It's just so weird. And I'm wondering if any of them are looking at interviews and podcasts that these two have been on and just seeing the inconsistencies that have been out here. Are they going to do a polygraph test on Seth, even not Seth, on Sebastian, even not Sebastian, I'm sorry, on Chris, even if it, it's just, you know what I mean? It's just frustrating, guys. I got so much I want to say. Don't know if you saw it, but S-Dubs tried to tell you about the grandparents trekked to Alaska. Yes. So somebody called on the show, on my late night show, Saturday night, if I'm correct. I think it was Saturday night. Yeah, it was Saturday night going into Easter Sunday. Somebody did call into the show to give us that information about the grandparents taking a road trip out to Alaska. By the way, that is a long drive. That's a long ass drive. And they went on this trip a day or two after Sebastian went missing, which is very weird to me as well. I know I keep saying very weird, but at the same time, it is very weird. 2 days after Sebastian goes missing, the Proudfoot's Chris's parents go out of town. That's weird. Highly convenient. And also, it doesn't make any sense as well. 2 days after, it was a day or two after they went out of town. Day or two after Sebastian went missing. I don't know the timeline completely, but it was after the reporting of Sebastian missing. They still got into a car or some sort of vehicle and kick rocks to Alaska. Why? Your son's stepson just went missing. And yet you still go, well, we still got this family trip. We're going to go take it. That just doesn't make any sense to me, guys. That's odd. Does it mean foul play? No. It could, though, too. But it could mean nothing at all as well. But the priority, like, if anything, it just shows the priorities here are out of whack. Priorities are absolutely out of whack. Listen to me. Let me explain. You got a young man, Sebastian Rogers, missing. 24 hours or 48 hours later, extended family who should be by their son's side and his wife's side, fifth wife's side, they should be right there, consoling, comforting, being a shoulder to cry on, being an extra source of whatever, right? Help, etc. Maybe they have information that they could tell police and so on. And yet instead, they decide to get into a car and drive out to Alaska. You know, make that make sense. But also, you got to remember, I guess it's the same MO. I guess it's in the family. Apple doesn't fall very far from the tree, because even during this search over the past 30 some odd days, 36, 7, 8, 9 days, okay, they've also, stepfather, biological mom, got into an RV and drove away. Yeah, it was only for a few days, but at the same time, I think that they would have stayed out there longer if they didn't have such a huge reaction from social media. But they still packed up their stuff and kicked rocks. To me, it just shows like there's no care for this young kid, except for Seth. You've heard it in that interview, and I strongly urge you guys to go and check out the interview that I had with Seth. It's a tough one, but there's a lot in there. And I know he's done a lot of other interviews, okay, on many other platforms. And they're all great, I'm sure. But I did ask in that interview, have you seen them out here? Have they helped with the search? The only thing he said is Chris went out one time with him, and that's it. They looked around, they did some things, bop, bop, bop. And then that was it. And I guess with Chris, it was like, oh, I did my job. I did what I had to do to optically look like I give a damn. And then he went back into his house and he's just been sitting there. No one has ever seen these two, as much as they say that they're out here handing out flyers, posting flyers up, etc. No one has ever, at least from what I've heard, no one has seen them out here putting up flyers or posters for Sebastian's sake at all. You know what I'm saying? No proof of effort. You know, like proof of life. No proof of effort. Zero. So what's up with that? But yet they get in a car and they drive off. Same with the parents. Same with the grandparents. The step grandparents, I guess you would call them, right? Is that how it's done? I don't know. But they still got into a car Oh, he's missing? Oh, okay. Alaska. Like, what the hell's that? Make that make sense. It's ridiculous, guys. You don't need us, right? Okay. Yeah, he's missing? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so tragic. Oh, I'm praying hearts. Like what is that? What is that, guys? What is that? Make that make sense. We got this trip we've been planning, so we're gonna go. But you good? Yeah, we're going to Alaska. Stupid. Kimberly, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Yeah, 5 horns. I'm gonna try that again. No, but appreciate it. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family, all 5 of you guys. It really does. I really do appreciate it. It is really appreciated. Okay, sharing is caring. It means a lot. Okay, Donna, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. All the new people. Appreciate it. Okay, I really do appreciate it. Okay, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. We got more still, though, here, guys. Tiffany, thank you so much. Why is the mother, stepfather, grandmother not posting Sebastian on Facebook? Interesting. They post daily? Why not share it on own page? Math, not mathing. Yep. See, like I said, it's just not making, I don't know. And like I said, I have not been out here looking at stuff. Okay. Like I have not seen Facebook like that. Okay. I don't Facebook that hard out here. But if that's true, that's very interesting information, right? Why wouldn't they? They should be incessantly like, have you seen my son? I got a son. His name is Sebastian. Do you know where he is? Hey, here's another photo of him. Here's another one. I love him so much. I got a kid named Sebastian. He's missing right now. Here's some information. Oh, he loves this. His favorite game is that. Oh, he loves this. His favorite color is this. You see what I'm saying? There's countless things that you can be posting every single minute of every single day. And if they're not doing those kind of things, that's sus as hell to me as well. And that's why I think the court of public opinion is looking at them so hard. I get it that police are going to lean on nothing but evidence and evidence alone. And I get that. But there isn't any evidence. But then we're also seeing how they move out here. It's the actions that are speaking way louder than words, y'all. Way louder than words. Per, thank you so much. Why would CIA and Secret Service be involved? That's news for me. If CIA and Secret Service are involved, interesting. I understand the FBI. I think because of his autism, they didn't take him missing as important at first. Interesting, Per. I don't know how many other acronyms, are involved. Okay. I really don't. But if there are other ones involved, then that's news to me. Interesting. I'm wondering why. If that's entirely 100%. Not saying that you're not saying the truth, but there is information out here that is flowing around here that I'm wondering which is accurate and which is not, right? Skinny, thank you so much for the 20. I didn't even work for Brinks, but I know how to use a Wi-Fi scrambler to screw up my neighbor's Ring cameras. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And that's news to me. Wi-Fi scrambler to screw up my neighbor's Ring cameras. That is what's up, Skinny. You just gave us the skinny on that, Skinny. You see what I did there? Moving on. Let's see. Misty, thank you so much for the 5. They have code locks. Then if Sebastian left after Katie sent him to bed, and she went to wake him up, the code lock would show this, correct, right? You know what? Very good question. Code locks, they're just code locks. So if you type in a 1, 2, 3, 4, enter, or 1, 2, 3, 4, lock or unlock, it's just going to do what it do. So there's a button on a lot of them where you just have to, as soon as you open it, like you unlock from the inside and you walk out and you close it behind you, there's an automatic lock that goes off on a lot of them. A lot of them, after a certain amount of time, it'll lock itself. Or you hit a button. All you got to do is hit the lock button and it'll lock for you. You don't have to dial in a code to make it lock. You just press lock and it locks. A lot of them do that. Okay. Most of them do that. Let me just say that. Okay. Because I'm sure some of you guys have some older versions of code locks on your doors. But as soon as you lock, or as soon as you close the door, if you forget, say you're trying to run out to the car, you're forgetting, you forget you're late for school, like Marty McFly or something like that, right? It'll automatically lock behind you after a certain amount of minutes, after a certain amount of time. So he could have just walked out, and the doggone thing, depending if they have that feature, that lock would have locked right behind him after 2 or 3 minutes. So that's interesting. Somebody just said, oh yeah, Carolera just said, yeah, I have that type of lock. Yep. And it's frustrating as hell, because sometimes you stay out for, you're outside, you're not leaving, you're just doing something in your car, or you got something you got to take care of, you're doing some gardening or whatever. And then all of a sudden the door locks, you're like, oh, I got to get back in before that door locks. I don't want to have to type in that code 15,000 times. And then next thing you know, you get to the door and you're like, damn. You know what I mean? So that's annoying, but it's a feature. So he could have just walked out, closed the door behind him. And if that feature's on that lock, it would have locked behind him after 2 or 3 minutes. So maybe he didn't have to dial any code. He just had to shut the door. Something to think about, And, and before we continue on to the other super chats, that could very well be what it is, right? Maybe they got into an argument and somebody else said this in another phone call, which could very well be true. But the only pushback I say is what I'll say after the information, after I say this. They said, well, maybe she got mad. He was acting a fool and she kicked him out the house. She said, kick rocks. Oh, you don't appreciate me? Kick rocks. Right? Get out the house. And then he gets put outside. She shuts the door, locks the door behind her in front of him. And then he's like, maybe in a fight, in a fury, he just says, okay, F you, I'm out. I'm kicking rocks. And then he walked. But the thing is if he was barefoot, shoot, even if he had socks on, you're telling me dogs weren't going to be able to pick up his scent? That's the part that doesn't make any sense. They would have been like, oh, here's his scent. He's right. He was in the front porch. And the trail goes off this way. You see what I'm saying? Then we would see a trail. We would know something. So, something to think about. It all goes down to the trail. The fact that there's no trail anywhere around the house, in the house, nothing. That's weird. That's weird. This is a 15-year-old boy, active. He just had a very active day, bowling, doing all this stuff, going to dinner, having a great time. Now, if he showered, yes, but he still have a scent on him of some kind. Weird. April, thank you so much for the 10. How did Chris get home so soon to go with Seth to look if Seth got off work at 7 a.m.? He was, 3 hours away working, supposedly. Don't make sense. Now, if he, Now, I'm going to say this. I don't know what time they got to, I don't know what time or what day that was when they got together. Because, again, he was on the phone with her for 3 hours, allegedly. He was on the phone with her for a long time when he initially went missing. Then I think he was home that day. Yeah, I think he got home that day, that afternoon. So he was already home when he met up with Chris to go, when Chris met up with Seth to go do their searches and whatnot. So I think you have your timeline a little bit off, but I see what you're saying. No matter what, He was allegedly 3 hours and 39 minutes away from his home. So no matter what, I guess he drove that very morning, got off of work, explained everything. You got a lot time for that. My wife's kid is missing. He just disappeared. I need to get back home. You got a lot that time for explaining it to his boss and the people that work with him. He needs to get his stuff. He needs to get into his car. He needs to drive out there. Right. So, yeah, put all those things into consideration for show. Elf, thank you so much for the 5. Thanks for your coverage. My husband's cousin is Sebastian's grandfather, Katie's dad. Oh, he is devastated. Interesting. Elf, I would love to be able to conversate. I would love to have a conversation with you if you got some time. Please reach out to me or let me know how, or reach out to me, email me, and let me know how I can reach out to you, because I have so many questions. And I can only imagine what the grandfather's feeling right now, because just the feeling of being powerless right now during this very confusing time. But if you can reach out to me, I would really, really appreciate it, because I'd love to know a little bit more. I really would like to know a little bit more. Della Quick, thank you so much for becoming a member. And Mandy. And just like Della and Mandy, please become a member. Support if you can. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Replay the press conference. They literally said CIA and Secret Service are helping them. They said it before they also mentioned the FBI. You know what? Why not? Why not? They said in the very beginning. Let me see if this thing wants to replay for me. Let's find out. Hold on. We're replaying a little bit of it.
Craddock, ERIC, and I'm the Chief Deputy at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. I'm joined today by
Let's take a listen.
SUSAN, NILAND, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. She's the PIM. I also have with me Sumner County Emergency Management Director Ken Widener, KENWEIDNER. You guys ready? All right. Morning. I'm Eric Craddock with Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and we're going to come to you today with an update on the Sebastian Rogers case. Sebastian has been missing since late February. The investigation remains ongoing with steadfast support from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, and many other local and federal resources. We are exploring every lead that comes in and every tip that comes in. As I said before, the investigation remains ongoing. The entire community is deeply saddened by what has occurred. We're all extremely concerned for Sebastian's welfare. I want to encourage the community to stay vigilant, to report anything that they think may be of some significance to the investigation, no matter how minute it may appear to be to you. Please call 1-800-TBI-FIND with any tips, or the Sumner County Emergency Communications Center at 615-451-3838. We understand the anxiety and the concern that this case has caused in the community. We too share the anxiety and concern for Sebastian. I want to reiterate that we are doing everything we can to find Sebastian and bring him home. Despite the passage of time, the commitment to finding Sebastian remains unwavering. I said this when we scaled the search back. Our commitment to finding Sebastian remains. We will continue to investigate every possible lead that comes in.
Now, I want to say this really quick, because understandably, they, of course, are going to do everything they can to sit here and say, give us some updates right now. But obviously, people were angry to hear about them scaling their search back weeks ago. This was weeks ago, y'all. Weeks. So, of course, people are going to be angry because, again, you're scaling all the way back. All right. You're scaling all the way back. You have Seth still out there, boots on the ground, doing everything he can to figure all this whole thing out. He's the only one out of the three of them that's doing anything to try to solve this situation. And you don't have Cajun Navy. You don't have law enforcement helping out. Now they got law enforcement there. They're showing footage of them on a hovercraft and all that. Yay, congratulations, woo. But at the same time, we haven't heard anything from law enforcement about their investigation into this young man's search. So apparently they say that she says this near the I guess the woman from TBI says something about that. Let me take a look. If I don't find it, then we're going to have to keep it moving, and we're just going to have to I'm going to have to take your word for it. Okay. Cause I don't want to spend this whole time trying to find where it's being said and whatnot. But let's go to the TBI part. Let's see.
At this point, we don't have any evidence. There is not any kind of an indication that they have pretty much done whatever law can to keep reviewing it again. We have had other agencies involved. The FBI has been helpful in that. Secret Service has also been helpful in that.
Wow.
We're just trying to do whatever we can to advance the investigation. It has not gone to a place where anybody has forgotten about him or is not pursuing this.
Wow. I'm rolling that back.
Doorbells and ring bells and surveillance cameras. That, as you can imagine, has been a bit of a chore to be able to collect all those and then review them. It's important so we know what's out there. We have been reviewing that, reviewing it again. We have had other agencies involved. The FBI has been helpful in that. Secret Service has also been helpful in that. So we are just trying to do whatever we can to advance the investigation. It has not gone to a place where anybody has forgotten about him or is not pursuing this.
Interesting. Secret Service. Interesting. I didn't catch that on the first round, but that's interesting, y'all. Let's keep it a buck. That's very interesting. I'm wondering why Secret Service, though. I'm wondering why that, because that just seems a bit weird, but interesting. If they're involved, then great. Fantastic news. Kate, thank you so much for the 150 pounds. I don't know how to say it, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Amanda, thank you so much. I heard Chris has a motorcycle. I find that interesting. Which I find interesting. I don't know. I don't know if it's interesting. I don't know if that really, I don't know. I don't think that entails anything big, personally. But nonetheless, it is information. It is information that would be, I think, crucial for them to look into, for sure. 1 pound 50. That's how you say it. Is that how you say it, Sue? 1 pound 50. Thank you so much. I appreciate the correction. I don't know how to say those things. It's like all Greek to me, but I do appreciate that. Interesting. Secret Service, though. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about CIA. I'm sure there's more in there, but she said other agencies are involved. She didn't say CIA. She just said Secret Service thus far, unless she continues saying it later, which, I'm not going to play the whole thing. Please go through playback, watch the whole thing. If she says it there, that'd be interesting. But yeah. Yeah, guys, when it comes to this information, when it comes to this news, it is a lot to take in. it is disappointing. They just had a press conference that was basically a nothing burger. But I always try to leave with find a little bit of a silver lining in this, like what happened with Madeline Soto. I think it's the same thing with this. They're listening. They're watching the internet, and that it also shows to us that what we're doing is working. Every time that we speak his name, every time that we make a thumbnail, every time that we hashtag his name on X or on any of these platforms, TikTok, Facebook, all those things, Instagram even, they are getting wind of that. It keeps his case alive. It keeps people wanting to know what happened. And of course, more importantly, it keeps people wanting him to get back home to safety. And I think that's one thing that we have to look at as far as a positive. Yes, it still sucks. They had a press conference for nothing. But also at the same time, they're saying, hey, y'all are talking. We got you. We hear you. We're doing everything we can. Now we just got to sit back, wait, and see if they really are doing everything they can. Because the thing is I just wish that maybe not every investigator, not every detective, etc., is like the ones that we are used to seeing in movies. I know they're movies, they're characters, but where you got people who are so passionate and believe that there's foul play or believe something's not right in a case. Like I'm still wanting to see if there's some sort of investigator, private investigator, whatever that's involved in this case that is connected with 5-0 in here, okay, that believes that there's something not right here, aside from it being something not right when it comes to the possibility of family members being involved. And actually doing everything they can to look into that. Because it just seems weird that they go, well, they've been working with us. They're giving us everything that we need. So, they're in the clear. No, it doesn't sit right for me. It just doesn't. I'm not satisfied with that information. I'm not satisfied with that result. Something just ain't right. And they could very well be innocent. Let's keep that on the table. We have to. They could very well be innocent, but there's something not right with this case. There just isn't. There's just something not right. And until we actually get some truths, I'm gonna keep sitting there side-eyeing like a mug. I mean, I'm gonna try to still look at this and go, hey, maybe there's a possibility of them being innocent. Yes, I still have that on the table. Well, how they've been moving out here in these streets, how extended family has been moving out here in these streets, how we're hearing family members or volunteers and other family members are actually getting followed. Content creators are getting followed by people. That's insane to me. Something's not right. Now we are hearing and understanding that the Proudfoots are connected in that town. And all that says a lot too. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that there's some sort of police cover up, but the fact that they have some sort of influence out here, I think has potential for something dangerous. Just saying. And I feel like we need to keep those things put those things into consideration. Tiffany, thank you so much. Tinfoil hat on. Have they talked to the kids at the school? Maybe he thought he was meeting up with friends and it was a bully situation, went bad. You know what? That's also a good one as well. I think that's something that police need to look into as well. If there's something that has to do with, if it has something to do with family, with school, it could be that too. But when I asked Seth about his, how he is in school, he didn't say anything of the sort. So I don't know. And from my understanding, it seems like he's been kind of, kind of more of alone. When he goes to school. So I don't know. But that could be it too, but bullying gone bad or something like that. I don't know. So, anything's possible here, guys. Really, really anything's possible. I'm curious. Yeah. Yeah. Love and Grace. That's my problem too. Chris stated he didn't know he had a job, but then he was in his RV headed to his work. Huh? Like I said, we're out here. In the very beginning, Nancy Grace's interview. We're out here. I'm out here for work because I don't know if we're gonna have. I don't know. He says I don't know if I have my job, but we're out here for work. Why are you out here? Oh, we're out here for work. Then later on, they say, oh, we left because we were scared for our lives, and I'm with him because I'm scared. I'm scared, and I wanted to be, with Chris. Huh? It just doesn't make it. It just doesn't make any sense. Oh, and that Sebastian could be anywhere, but if he was to find himself back home, you won't be there. So it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like I said, they've been saying a lot of things that just are not adding up. And I'm hoping that we get this thing figured out very, very bloody soon. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. I appreciate it. Yep. Design, you ain't wrong. We're receiving threats. That's just what I think about it. Dog water. That's what I think. But anyway, that's the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Of course, if there's any more developing news on this case, we will be on it. Trust and believe. We will be on it for show, for show. So please hit that like button down below. Crush it, make it scream out your name. Do what you need to do. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay? And of course, hit that reaction button. Don't forget to hit that follow button on my Facebook. Follow me on TikTok, please and thank you. I may be doing a late night TikTok live tonight, where we'll just talk and do our thing over there on TikTok. That will be tonight. So be on the lookout for that. Okay. But we got other stories. We got another case we got to start talking about. All right. We have got to talk about this other case and bring some awareness to it. We will be talking about it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell on my YouTube channel so you know whenever I upload, whenever I go live, because it is random. Please be sure to hit that join button down below. Become a member. That would be greatly appreciated. Check out Patreon. Go to patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Also check out my merch page, pascalmerch.com. We got some really, really great merch over there. Please check those things out. But I will be on later on this evening. Okay. So be sure to have that notification bell on, because we're going to be talking about a brand new case that I've never talked about before on this channel, and I could really use the eyeballs and the focus on this new case as well. Okay, because there's many other kids and many other people that need their voices heard as well. Okay, we're not done covering this case. It's nowhere near done. Okay. But like I said, we got many miles to go and many other lives that we need to bring to light and hopefully save. So please be sure to be on here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button on all those other platforms. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very soon. I'll probably be around like 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Just a heads up. Okay, guys? So I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one, guys. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.